Areyonga, 100 miles southwest of Alice Springs, is a government Aboriginal settlement where people of the Pitjantjatjara tribe make their first contact with civilization. Tribal life is breaking down, contact is inevitable, and the government aims, through this and other settlements, to lead Aborigines to their eventual assimilation. Here at Areyonga they find permanent water and food, medical aid for the sick, education for their children. At Areyonga some now till the soil, others are trained as pastoralists. These people and their families now think of the settlement as their home. Others still cling to their old ways. Results already achieved at Areyonga justify our belief that there is a real future of achievement and happiness for these people. There are places for them in the growing industries of the Northern Territory. They are magnificent stockmen. In recent years, government policy has changed from the passive idea of protection to that of constructively promoting welfare for Aborigines. To this end, a welfare branch of the Northern Territory Administration was specially created.
Could I now call on Nick Oliver, please, who is from Areyonga. Did I get that right? Yes. Areyonga, which is the community government 250 kilometres west of Alice Springs. Please welcome Nick and his councillors.
My name is Kathleen Quinjana from Areyonga, and I'm council president 5 years, and I born at Areyonga. Thank you.
Hello, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Gallagher. I work at the council office, and I am a councillor. And I'm born at Areyonga. Thank you.
My name is Albert Gallagher. I'm still working for the council for many years. We'd like to show bits about Areyonga in the early days and what is today now. Thank you.
And the little one is called Michaela. She can't talk yet. When we saw this thing come through the fax machine actually saying we did it our way, we had a long and very productive talk about it at the council chambers one day, saying, well, Areyonga's isolated, it's in the scrub. People forget little communities such as ours, we think, which is a pity, because I think a lot of us have got our feet on the ground at the community, and we wrote a paper with the heading "We Did It Our Way." The paper is available today out there if you require it. But to start with, we put a bit of a video together, because when we started talking to the people, they said they'd like to tell the story, but they'd like to tell the old story and show the comparison of what was done years ago as to what we're trying to do today in Areyonga. Now that was a difficult task for us. We had no money to make a professional video. We looked at the price and we were quoted between $8,000 to $10,000 to make a 3 to 5 minute video, and we said this is ridiculous, we can't afford it. So with the help of my wife, that dutifully worked for weeks and weeks with the girls and the guys at the community, we made our own video and we did it our way. Didn't expect that, but thank you. As I say, I'd like to say thank you to the community members and particularly my wife for that. But we thought that would show a lot. The reason being, we thought it was strange when the community first said we'd like to show the old, because the old is obviously today now, not quite right, not politically correct. We can get all these buzzwords and what have you. But as I said in the days, that's the way it was. Now we've changed. We've moved forward. We've done things our way. But I hope we've done them in conjunction with the community members and with the people that we would need, the resources, the funding bodies, all the other people we need. But I think those funding bodies have to keep changing. I'll give a few examples. DSS, Centrelink, whatever it's called nowadays, I get a bit confused some days with the changing of things. But to fill a form in, now I doubt whether many of us here fill forms in those sorts of places, but maybe our kids do, maybe we've got friends that do. You go in, you can fill a form in a couple of minutes. You can have an interview to someone, you can tell them, your mother, your father, whomever, you're out the door again. With our people, it's different. It takes us sometimes 3/4 of an hour to fill a form in. I'm afraid the numeracy and literacy rate is very, very high at Areyonga. We haven't got a lot of people that can read and write. It presents us with a problem. But the remuneration we're given to supply that service is very small. It's worked out to say, well, it only takes 5 minutes, but they seem to forget we have problems. Another thing there, an instance on the film there, you might have noticed there was a bit about the grader doing some work with the telecom line. We got a grant from a HIP program, I think it was, to shift the powerhouse. Our powerhouse was in the middle of town, puffed out smoke, chugged and made noises, and it drove everyone around the bend. In the end, we got the money to shift it. We shifted it out of town. So we rang up Telecom, we put in for a new telephone line to the powerhouse. 18 months later, we still had no telephone. Many phone calls, many letters backwards and forwards. The trouble is, Nick, it's the machinery. We need a D10 out there because we've got to dig a 900-metre trench. It's over a bit of a rock and we've got to do this and we've got to do that. And I was getting frustrated and said, hey guys, just do it, you know, and this went on and on and on. Cut a long story short, I rang the guy up that was in charge of the, whatever department it was in Telecom, I can't remember now. Projects department or something, and I said, look, for God's sake, we'll dig the bloody trench. You can't do that, you're not a contractor. I said, what's that got to do with it? I said, if the community can dig the trench, we'll dig it. Oh, well, we'll have to investigate that. So I left it, and then I thought later I had to talk to the council about it. I said, what about we just dig the trench? They said, oh yeah, in our language, that means yes, go and do it. 4 days later, we dug the trench. I rang Telecom up, I said, your trench is in. I beg your pardon, they said, what are you talking about? I said, we've dug the trench, come and put your line in. I take my hat off to Telecom. They were there within 2 days. They put the line in the trench. We filled it back over. It took us a week. We did it our way. We were pleased. We sent Telecom a bill for $3,500. I might add they haven't paid us yet. They sent me back a bundle of forms this thick. I felt like putting them in the filing cabinet. But it's a small item, I think, to us, to our people, it is very, very important. We've touched on a large number of things there. We try and do contracts with building ourselves. We haven't got the expertise, we're not builders. Our people aren't builders. But if we can draw upon the resources required, and we can teach our guys, we can learn our guys, and the same with the girls helping, I think at the end of the day we've gained. The advantage is they've done it their way. An airport fence we put in. One day Transport and Works rang up and said, oh Nick, they said in 2 weeks' time the contractors will be out there to refence the airport. I said, uh-oh, what do you mean they're coming out to refence the airport? He said, oh, we've just let the contractor, he said, for $12,000. I said, oh, was the community consulted? Oh, no, he said, look, bureaucracy just took over, Nick, and we've just gone and done it. I said, well, we'll revoke the licences of the people that are coming to Areyonga because it's on Aboriginal land. And he sort of looked, and he didn't look, he said, you can't do that. I said, yes, we can do that. I said, why didn't you ask the community if they wanted to put the fence up? Oh. So, we eventually got the job. Somehow or other, they fixed it up, we built the fence. We did it our way. We didn't do it in the same time as what a contractor would do it, but we built the fence, we built it on price, and we did a good job. It landed out a bit of a day's outing for people in the end to do, but it was good. We enjoyed doing it. We think all these things are very, very important. I think the thing is that a lot of people forget in Canberra, particularly in the Territory, a lot of us are living reconciliation day by day. I would ask the people in Canberra to please come and ask some of us. Take notice of this. Listen to us. Not just the white fella, listen to the black fella. We live and work there with them. I think it's very important we do that. It's very important that the communities are flexible. It's very important that the communities do want reform or change, but at the same time, we and them and everyone has to be responsible for what we're doing. And with our jobs that we've shown there, we hope we keep on doing that and we can go forward into the 21st century with much and considerable pride with Areyonga doing it its way. Thank you.